gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Aquila Round 3 pre-com... No, this is actual commentary, not pre-commentary.
Indeed, we're watching the pre-commentary.
We are coming to you live from the Donington Music Festival, and nothing else happens at Donington except the music festival. As you can see, Rick Martel, super sexy, but I am very attractive. And with me, as always,
there is the grid. They're going to give us the grid because they took away the
Correct.
qualifying efforts.
And as you can hear, with me as always, is the man who's been recently cast in the movie as Hopalong Cassidy, Magas.
Oh, thank you. We've got 20 cars, it looks like,
alone?
today. We've got Henrik Andreasen on pole. We got Tobias Thierol, Magic Kaschuk, Bertrand Barrier, Rene Ermer, Martin Evans, James B. Butler, Mr. Villery, I'm not sure what name that is, Andy Darnell, and Steve Davidson, your top 10. And this, of course, is the third round of the Aquila Cup, British Cup that we're running here. We have been to Brands Hatch, we have been to Silverstone, now we are to Donington Park. And this will be the only visit to Donington Park on the series. Race winners up until now have been Tobias Thierol, Henrik Andreasen, Tobias Thierol, Martin Edmonds, and the surprising win of Anthony Willis to round off Silverstone. Championship leader is Tobias Thierol coming into today. He has 2 wins and 2 additional podiums, and will be starting from P2 today. So, Byron, do you think Henrik Andreasen strikes back today, or was his absenteeisness in Silverstone going to be a big problem?
Well, I believe since he has been irreparably damaged by the hangnail, that he will never recover his previous form and would probably crash.
Looking at Villery's previous results, he was 13th, 12th, and 12th at Silverstone. So he's been here before, but I don't know what his name is. So we'll find out. We're looking for the Spanish flag.
Spanglish.
Here we go.
I bet you I know what the Spanish guy's name is.
Grid forms up. Oh, it's Valoria. There we go.
Oh, it's not Ricky?
It's not Ricky. Red lights, and we are off. Here at the Donington. Oh, no. Lord, somebody did not get off the line. One of the green and white cars in the background just completely stalling, and a couple of cars hit him in the back. He is falling backwards in the pack. I'm not sure who that was. Might have been James Butler. Just thinking, because I know Butler runs that livery, and that could be the same car in the grass. That is Butler in the grass as he falls to the back of the pack. Rick Martel is getting focused right now, but that is not him leading the way. That is Henrik Andreasen out front, ahead of Tobias Thierol from Magic Kaschuk in 3rd place.
R.I.P. Andreas Henriksen. Hangnail took him out.
Oh, well, but he's here today, Byron. He's got
That's the ghost of Andreasen.
We got a golf car up in, looks like 6th place there. Might be Martin Edmonds, maybe? Not sure. No, that's Rene Ermer, pardon me. Rene sporting the Gulf Oil livery. Not really sure why we're still being told that we're looking at Rick Martel. This could be possibly an error in the programming, so to speak. We have found the error in the code of the Matrix. Magic Kaschuk going side by side with Bertrand Barrier in the background.
Rick Martel's so super sexy that the camera can't help it. The game can't help it.
They are all Rick Martel, as Martin Edmonds goes.
Indeed.
Very, very wide. Donington Park, super fun circuit, I must say. Super challenging. I absolutely suck here. I have never had a good result in all the times I've raced here. I have never raced here in the race room, and had it not been for my injured foot and injured knee, this would have been the first time out. But of course, I am absent from this race.
Have you tried just cheating?
I'm not sure what cheating would do me there, sir.
The win. Obviously.
I mean, I'm not sure how I pulled that off exactly.
Well, yeah.
John Barker falling backwards through the field. Looks like he might have run into some problems. As we complete the lap. This is the start-finish straight area. This one's got the chicane. Okay, I prefer the chicane layout, to be honest. So it's good that we have a chicane here. Vic Vega up into the top 10, as well as Adam Komorowski. We don't usually see them quite that high in the field. But But they are there in 9th and 10th place. And the camera continues to follow race leader Henrik Andreasen while claiming that he is Rick Martel. So I'm not sure what's up with the spectator tool, but I think we're glitched.
I mean, who doesn't want to look at Rick the Model Martel?
But we're not looking at Rick the Model Martel. That's the problem.
All I can see is Rick. I don't know what your problem is.
But you look at the livery preview there, Byron. That's not Rick's car.
I'm not looking anywhere else. Just Rick.
Komorowski falling backwards, so something happening to him there. And the yellow submarine is up into the top 10, Byron. Mauricio Delgado.
Excellent. Senor Muy Picante himself.
Mm-hmm. Martel continues to, not Martel, pardon me. I fell for it there. Andreasen continues to lead the way from Tobias Thurl. Kazchuk in the background, still hanging on against Bertrand Barre, Martin Evans, Steve Davidson. Rene Ermer has slid back a little bit down to 7th place, was 5th. Andrew D, Mauricio Delgado, and Vic Vega, your top 10. As a slowdown penalty comes in for Clement Dumas.
Oh, Clement Dumas. You must take the baguette to the face. You go too fast in the wrong area. Oh, Martin Edmond, also baguette to the face.
Mm-hmm.
We just need Bertrand Barrier to get in there and we'll have a trifecta of the French.
Indeed. We'll have all the baguettes to the face.
Uh-huh. Martin Edmonds, you have been fined all the credits for your abusive nature.
Your abuse of the track limits here, sir.
Former deathmatch champion, Martin Edmonds.
Indeed, lost the belt to Doug Braddock, who has lost the belt to Craig Entwistle.
Correct. Who looks like he's got challenges lined up.
He does. We got Brock, we got Gabe.
I'll take the belt back someday, and if anybody wants to know what the hell we're talking about, PM Mike for details on his Discord.
Indeed. Join in on the simulated violence. All kinds of fun. What are your thoughts? You think Brock's going to take the title? You think Gabe's going to take the title? Get any predictions?
I have no idea. But I'm going to take the title from whoever's left.
My gut instinct tells me I think Craig's going to retain. And here is my reason why. Against Brock, Brock is just too freaking small, as in the background, Magic Kazchuk loses out to Bertrand Barrier there with the power slide. Brock is just way too small. Craig's a 185-pound fighter. Brock's a 145-pound fighter. We're talking about a big difference there. We're talking 50 pounds and 9 inches of height. So I feel good about Craig's chances. And with Gabe, I think Craig is the absolute worst kind of opponent for Gabe. Because, of course, Gabe formed his fighter basically on the idea that he would get bored. Now, does it sound like a good idea to be bored against a guy who might choke you to death or rip your lips off?
I mean, depending. Depends on if you're absolutely smashing him to death or not.
I think my prediction is Gabe will smash him to death for a bit. And then he'll get bored smashing him to death and get tapped. That's my prediction. That's also Gabe's prediction, it should be mentioned. Durlan Iceman, slow down penalty. So, there you go. But we'll see. Craig's also super defensively flawed and could just get knocked out.
What if I told you Rick the Model Martel?
Also, Doug is really annoyed that he lost the belt to Craig. Not because he lost the belt to Craig, but he's reading he PMs me. He goes, "Why did my fighter do nothing I told them to do?" I'm like, "Because you're a wrestler, sir."
Correct.
He literally had a game plan to stand and bang, and his fighter immediately went for a takedown, seeing a 6'4" guy in front of him, realizing I don't want to strike with this.
What you do is you just hunker down a little bit further and you hit him with the big old speed bag special. To dig it, and you win.
That's true. Well, I mean, he did drop a knee drop right on his nutsack. So
that will happen.
So we continue to watch the race leader, Henrik Andreasen, who's hanging on here. I'm not sure what I think the reverse grid here would be 10 spots. So Vic Vega right now, although he did just pick up a slowdown penalty, and so did Andy Darnell, which suggests that they're in a heaping fight for that 10th place, would be starting on pole position. Rounding off the top 10, we got Barrier, Kaschuk, Edmonds, Davidson, Ermer, D, Delgado Vega. Not a lot of change since I last ran that down. Basically, Barrier's gotten past Kaschuk, and that's about it. Darnell in the hunt, as well as Valoria. Real Velour. And Rick Martell's into 15th place, having overtaken Clement Dumas, or Dumas.
Well.
Wide run there for Henrik Andreasen, allows Tobias Thierolf alongside and into the lead. Congratulations to Tobias, by the way, on the live commentary for defeating Mike Stockmill. Very impressive. Winner of race 1 of the raceday.watch event that ESR co-produced recently, which I did live commentary for, and Byron was our chat moderator.
I only had to kick out half the planet.
Indeed. We saw... Oh, that's a
back
lost. Marker getting out of the way. Probably Durlon Iceman, just based on the fact that he is at the back of the pack. And no one else is quite that far back. Of course, it is a rather short lap. It's a minute 10, so I expect we'll see maybe a little bit of lapping as time goes on. Henrik Andreasen on the attack into the first corner, but he is going to try to go around the outside, and I don't really think that is possible to do here. But you can make Thierolf make a rare mistake as he goes wide, and Andreasen is through back into the lead.
Ha-cha-cha.
Andreasen in the blue, Thierolf in the white.
Andy Foster, you've been sentenced to drink 3 cases of Foster's.
We lost Bertrand Barrier. No!
He has broken the sound barrier.
Lost Bertrand Barrier. Vic Vega, by the way, dropping out of the top 10. He has been replaced in that position by Andy Darnell and Adam Komorowski also in because, of course, we lost Delgado. Darnell has also overtaken Mauricio Delgado. So I think Mauricio may have made a mistake. He has slipped back to 9th place.
His only mistake is too much enthusiasm.
So a hell of a lap for Darnell because he started that lap in 11th place and he ends it in 8th, presumably, if he gets across the line here. Someone in the pit lane there. I believe that is Durlon Iceman. And the yellow car, I believe, is that of Bertrand Barrier. It's good to see him in the pits, though. That suggests that, well, he has had a problem here. It is not fatal. And he may be able to take the grid for race number 2. Although he will be presumably starting from the back.
Raul, you have been sentenced to consume 17 kilograms of paella.
I also suspect you will be getting a PM at some point from the queen herself, as I think she has an idea in the sim to do something crazy.
The queen is dead. We've got golf money now.
No. Wrong queen.
Oh.
Talking about the Night Queen.
Interesting.
She had questions and things that I think is going to a certain place that we have gone before in the sim. And it could be interesting.
We've gone some weird places in the sim. I don't know if
we've gone some weird places. Durlon Iceman, by the way, has rejoined the race. We see him not in the pit lane. Well, I mean, the sim by virtue of its very nature has gone weird, interesting places
like the thing with the squid
and Yama pit fighting.
Correct. What we need is tag team Yama pit fighting.
Oh God, no!
Hell
I am not doing Zest Yama pit fighting.
Come on, you got to climb up the elevated ramp to tag your partner. That'd be extra difficult. It'd be the best.
So bad.
With X Division rules.
And if you understand what we're talking about with Yama pit fighting,
you're just as mentally damaged as we are.
I salute you for your degenerate MMA hobby, because that's the only explanation.
Michael, I've been fielding a number of questions lately, and they're all demanding the same thing, and that is X-Arm Simulator when?
Oh, that's not happening.
What?
Actually, I've been getting a lot of requests for the Dana White power slap slam.
Oh,
That's not happening. I think that is a ridiculously bad idea.
May I put up a counter proposal?
Okay.
Dana White's Rochambeau.
Oh, that seems actually worse.
Woo, look at him skid all the way down that hill. Yeah, give him. Gonna make this race even better. Ice.
Oh, Martin Edmonds briefly got past Cash Chuck, but is back behind him now. So if the camera would move there, that'd be cool. But we know the camera is not going to move there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. We seem to be we're frozen on one thing.
We are frozen on one car, and it's not the car that we're getting details for.
One nameplate, one car, different things, and also we seem to have a broken image link in the top there. So that's
that happens periodically.
But we do have all the names of all the people.
We do. We do have the tower, which is good. And we know the tower has been a problem actually in the number 2 races. So hopefully that does not break this time, because we got a second race coming up. And if the camera is going to be stuck again, and the tower is going to be broken, that is going to be interesting for me to commentate on.
See,
at least with a functioning tower, as Magic Kaszczuk has slid back behind Martin Edmonds and Steve Davidson, and is getting into a fight with Rene Armour. I would love to see that, because that is the area where I think that battle for third place is a 4-car fight, and I would love to have it on my screen, but we don't have it, as the leaders are catching up to, I assume that is A. Foster up ahead in the Valvoline liveried car. I do not know your first name, Mr. Foster. I apologize.
I believe it's Adriano.
I could look at the standings and see if he's on there by his name, but it looks like he is not.
I bet you it's Arian Foster.
There's no Foster on the championship standings, so I've got nothing. I have got nothing.
I saw it earlier when he got a slowdown penalty. But
I did notice that there was a broken link on the race app that Martin posted at the beginning, so I'm assuming that's him. That happens when somebody's race app is incorrectly configured, and that means that you're in the race, you're there, whatever. It's showing up on the results file, but it's not finding a race app account to associate. So I imagine that is him, because I look at everybody else here, and I think I see them. We know Durlon Iceman is a functioning one. Dumas, Butler, Barker, Valoria, Martel, etc. You know, they are all veterans of this game and have functionality.
Is it not pronounced Durlonican?
No, I believe it's Iceman.
Oh, my bad.
Andy Darnell, you have been fined 2 credits for the moral code violation. Rene Armour also picking up a slowdown penalty. So we've got 9 minutes to go here. Pretty reasonable lead for Andreasen, but he picked up a lead about this long before, and Thierolf came back at him. So we'll see. Both of these guys have been to the winner's circle. Andreasen taking win at race 2 Brands Hatch, and Thierolf at race 1 Brands Hatch, as well as race 1 at Silverstone. And, of course, is the championship leader coming into today. No Anthony Willis today. That's a shame. He came off that double podium at Silverstone, including the race win. It would have been lovely to see him here today, as somebody put up some dust there. Be whoever they're coming up to lap, which would be, I believe, either that is Durlon Iceman again, or Clement Dumas.
Oh, Clement. Andrew D. That internationally wanted felon.
Nope. Tobias Thierol picking up a slowdown penalty as well. That is still Barrier in the pit lane there in the yellow submarine. So it's good to see. Looks like he is fully intending to take part in race number 2. At least as Thierolf goes very wide. And it does kind of feel like this is Andreasen's race now. That mistake, I think, has given him the lead that he can Probably keep it well within his levels. As he picks up a lap there and gives a flash of the headlights. Not really sure why. It's a pretty polite behavior under blue flags. Henrik, defend yourself. We know, of course, I am not a big fan of the flashy headlights, just because I don't think it works. I don't think it works. Like, that's what it comes down to. And here's the other thing. You're far enough ahead of Tobias that I don't think you need to be worried about the blue flags here. And they're getting out of the way pretty quickly. So I'm a little disappointed in Mr. Henrik Andreasen right now.
Wow.
Fantastic driving display here today, but being a little bit rude to the traffic.
He's not angry. He's just disappointed.
Don't get me wrong. If someone's like blocking you and like, just completely ignoring the blue flags, yes, feel free to get on the horn, get on the lights. But I feel like he's not lost any time under these blue flags at all, and has gotten a little flashy with it.
I feel as though you should be able to use your high beams as weapons, and just
you can
have incredibly powerful ones and just burn people's cars off.
That works in pretty good actually in the night racing in Assetto Corsa Competizione, but of course Race Room does not have a night racing feature. Rick Martel picking up another spot there. Not sure whom he overtook there. Might have been Raul Valoria is the one behind him, but could also have been someone dropping down the order. I think it was. I see Vic Vega appears to have appeared to DNF the race, and he is not in the pit lane. So that to me suggests a fatal problem that will keep him out of race number 2, which is unfortunate. Because it looked like he had good pace. He was competing for a top 10 spot.
Everybody knows the DNF stands for Do Not Fettuccine.
Oh, I scored second highest on the F1 quiz this week. So there we go. There's a Twitter account literally called F1 Quiz. If you follow them, it gives a question a day. And every so often it pulls out like a big one on a Google form where you have like 10 questions. And I came in second. So I'm quite happy with myself.
Quick, who won the 1872 F1 championship?
No one, because there wasn't one.
They just don't tell you about that in books. That's okay.
The first F1 championship occurred in 1950, and I actually can name all the champions.
They're all named Mario Franchitti.
No.
There's a Dario Franchitti. God damn it.
In fact, would you believe that there has never been a champion of F1 named Mario, except for Mario Andretti? So there you go.
Is that like there's never been a guy named James to win except for James Hunt?
Could be correct.
Maybe.
Technically, Jim Clark is named James.
Or has there ever been a Nicky to win except for Niki Lauda?
No, Niki Lauda is unique. I don't even know if I can name another Formula One driver named Nicky. Period.
It's just like a really weird line. It's like there's never been a Mario except for this one guy named Mario. Like,
no, because there actually has been a lot of Marios in F1. Like it's a very powerful Italian name, obviously. There's a long history of Italian.
I didn't understand the other part to that. I had no idea. What about Luigi? Apparently, there's got to be 17 guys named Luigi, all winning the championship.
2 come to mind. I've got Luigi Fagioli, who has the distinction of being the oldest man to step on a Formula One podium.
He's 27 years old.
He was in his early 50s, actually.
Yeah.
And also, I can think of Luigi Villoresi.
What about Luigi Vampa?
Well, no.
The greatest bandit in all of Italy.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that F1 every season does F1 the quiz, where they quiz the drivers on the grid on F1 history. And one question this year was name all the F1 champions, starting with the most recent and going back all the way to 1950. And only one driver could do it. That was actually a pretty smart race. With Sebastian Vettel, of course.
Nerd.
No one else even got close. I think second place got back to like the late 80s and couldn't do it anymore. And Kimi Räikkönen, of course, hilariously didn't even get his own championship. So, that's always hilarious. They're like, who won the 2008 World Championship? And he's like, me. No, Kimi, you won 2007. He's like, oh.
That's all right. He's just perpetually drunk.
I don't think he cares. Although,
I
I say that, but he actually did go back like over a decade. So I don't know. His manners suggest that he doesn't care, but like his success suggests that he is trying, I guess. Martel down to 13th place. We're getting a really good update on him. He lost a spot to Raul Valoria. But unfortunately, what we have on the screen is Henrik Andreasen leading by 3.5 seconds, and there's not really much to do here, which is why we're kind of going a little bit off topic. We're talking about, non-racing things and F1 history. I hope you enjoy.
The worst.
Now, on the bright side, if we get locked on the race leader for race number 2, it is a reverse grid race. There will be action at the front. So if we get stuck, it will still, I think, be notably more interesting, because it's just unfortunately Tobias Thierolf's chances of winning this race ended something like 8 minutes ago, and there just hasn't been anything else on our screen outside of some blue flag lapping and Henrik displaying, in my opinion, a little bit of poor etiquette for me to talk about.
Wow. Can you bring it up again, please?
I could.
What if in the next
something has
race,
happened to
it only shows us Rick Martel, but we get the nameplate only for Andreas?
That would be an intriguing reversal. By the way, Clement Dumas has fallen way back, including getting lapped by Durlon Icemans. I wonder if he is perhaps out of the race. Can I look at this without spoiling myself as to the results? Don't see a DNF driver that is Dumas, so he might still be running. Checkered flag out. Henrik Andreasen has picked up his second victory, adding to his race 2 win at Brands Hatch. He's also won 2 races in a row that he's participated in. He missed the 3-race round at Silverstone. That may put him in the championship lead again, because there is the drop score in effect. And his drop score currently would be 0 points, whereas Tobias Thierolf is dropping points right now. But him and Thierolf seem like the 2 guys battling for this title. Although Martin Edmonds on the verge of his 4th consecutive podium here, with a 3rd place finish. He had 3 podiums at Silverstone, including a race 2 victory. So that'll be interesting. Magic Kazchuk 4th, Rene Ermer 5th. Andy Darnell got up to 6th place at the end. Go Andy. Andrew D, Steve Davidson, Adam Komorowski, and it looks like Raul Valoria will take pole for race number 2, as he finished in 10th place ahead of Rick Martel, John Barker, James Butler, Wayne Hutchison, who I don't think we said his name the entire race, Mauricio Delgado, A. Foster, Durlon Iceman, and indeed Dumas did DNF along with Vic Vega and Bertrand Barrier. We know we won't have Vega for race number 2. You cannot rejoin after you leave a server, and he left. We may also be down Dumas. We'll find out.
What if I told you he's the Foster, not just a Foster?
Well, then I would say his name is set up incorrectly.
Potentially.
I am going to guess it is probably Andrew Foster.
It's actually Adolf.
That would be unfortunate.
That would be unfortunate. That would be an interesting study. You remember when everybody started using the word Karen to represent a certain female-type customer? New layout.
We've lost Durlon Iceman for race number 2 as well. We do have the courtesy of Andrew D.
Rick Martel.
And we're on Rick Martel early as he moves into the top 10. Big accident at the front. One car is backwards. I'm not sure who that is. Red and white car. I'm looking to see who falls to the back. That was at the front. It might be Steve Davidson. My guess is it was Steve Davidson. Bertrand Barrier up into 9th place already. He started at the very back, and he's going to move up into 8th, overtaking Rick Martel. On the tail of the fellow Yellow Submarine, Mauricio Delgado. Andrew D. up in 6th place behind John Barker and Henrik Andreasen. Tobias Theerolf, where are you? Looking for you. You're in 3rd place behind Raul Valoria and Magic Kazchuk, who's had a fantastic start.
So after the Karen thing, a couple years later, they did a survey and found out that naming girls Karen went like right out the window. No one's doing it anymore. It would be interesting to see what happened after World War II and kids named Adolf.
I imagine it dropped off considerably.
I would like to think so.
We'll look that up after the race to see how popular the name Adolf is in the world right now.
Probably in a certain amount of circles, but not in good ones.
I will reference my Forebears website, which is where I pull all the naming stuff for my MMA simulator.
There you go.
Bertrand Barrier making his way past Andrew D. and up in his 6th place. He is on a roll. There's Martin Edmonds. He's in 10th place. He's got Andy Darnell behind. Oh, no, Martin!
Uh-oh. Oh.
Martin, you have championship aspirations. That is not going to help.
Steve Dave.
Steve Dave on the tail of Mr. Foster. We still don't have a first name for. It is Rene Ermer in behind them.
I believe it's Aronofsky.
Oh, another off there for, I think. No, that is not Steve Davidson. That might be Adam Komorowski. That is actually my guess. The red and white car that we have seen off twice is American by Polish extraction, Adam Komorowski. And up into 12th place goes Steve Davidson.
Also, shout out to Rene Ermer, wearing also extremely great clothing on the car.
Indeed, the Gulf colors. Oh, that's Mauricio Delgado off the track.
Let's see.
He does recover it, but loses a spot to James Butler as a result, and also moving up is Andy Darnell. On board with Rene Ermer, battling Mr. Foster. And does not take that particular turn very well. Much slower than Mr. Foster through there. I wonder if that was just him kind of resetting and getting ready for another run, because there will be a certain aero wash off these cars. Not nearly as bad as like Formula One. So I don't want to follow them necessarily too closely.
Is that what they use to clean arrow root cookies?
And he has got the move done and moves into the final chicane into 13th place. Aero wash is the air coming off of the back of the car that can upset your balance car behind you.
I believe
also,
that's what they refer to
also
as
it's not good for the tires. You become Martin Edmonds.
Dang.
As race 1 winner Henrik Andreasen's up to 4th place. He's got Tobias Theerolf up ahead of him, as well as Magic Kazchuk and Raul Valoria. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 1:08.271. Oh, Tobias getting very out of shape there, and to be honest, Henrik got a little out of shape there trying to avoid him. He'll pick up 3rd place. Next on his list will be Magic Kazchuk, as well as my favorite car, the Serbian-Croatian combo car, driven by Raul Valoria. Who has held his pole position so far and has led every lap. Further back, that is Steve Davidson. He is now up behind Rick Martel, the model, under pressure. And ahead of them is Mauricio Delgado in the Yellow Submarine. Behind them is Rene Ermer in the other Gulf livery Aquila. Haven't really talked about the Aquila much. The Aquila CR1 Sports GT car, which is the car we are seeing raced here, as Rick Martel does lose the spot, is a Danish-made sports car / prototype. Pretty affordable, actually. It's one of the one of the cheaper like prototype sports cars you can find in the world, and has been raced by such drivers as Kevin Magas. Martin Edmonds moves up a spot at the expense of Wayne Hutchison. Andy Darnell in 8th place, trying to get past Andrew D and trying to hold off James Butler, and that's a hard. Both of those those things are very hard. Andrew D can make a car very wide. James Butler can be quite persistent and aggressive. As up ahead of them, that is the Yellow Submarine of Bertrand Barrier. Go inside. Oh no! And a spin for Andy Darnell. We'll drop him out of the top 10. Henrik Andreasen, in the meantime, under pressure from Tobias Thierol because he can't get past Magic Kaschuk. Looking for that second place. Raul Valoria is the one benefiting off of this. He's pulled out to about a 1.5 second lead at the front of the pack. Side-by-side action there, and Andreasen moves into second place. He is the only driver in the field today who has finished on the podium in every race he has contested this season. Although he did miss half the races, so it's a little bit of a cheat. Bertrand Barrier in 6th place, trying to get past John Barker. Good to see John Barker up in the top 5. How has he done this season so far? John Barker, not fantastic. 15th, 9th, 11th, 6th, and 5th. He had a decent run at Silverstone. Barrier trying to get past him. And he will. Bertrand, of course, has an enviable podium rate as well. He had double podium at Brands Hatch. Did not show up to Silverstone. Like Henrik Andreasen, actually. But, of course, DNF'd race 1 here at Donington Park. On board with championship leader Tobias Thierol, or at least the guy who came in with the championship lead. I don't know if he still has it. Henrik Andreasen's race 1 win, because of the drop scores, may have him in the lead right now, but I am not sure. Andrew D in 7th.
7th and a half.
Rene Ermer is up into 11th. Oh, Andrew, that is not the racetrack.
He's obviously
James Butler is going to say, thank you, coming through. And also might be coming through is Mauricio Delgado. Holds off the Yellow Submarine for now. And the Golf teammates, Davidson and Ermer, in behind them in 10th and 11th. Edmonds is up to 14th. Having overtaken Foster. Oh no! Andrew D and Mauricio Delgado come to blows. Not sure who was at fault there. That was a bit of a weird contact. But the guy who came off the worst of it for sure was D, although Delgado is actually behind him, so actually Delgado coming off quite poorly as well. And Rick Martel up into the top 10, baby! Briefly there, as he does just lose the spot to Andy Darnell, as well as Martin Edmonds. If we're being honest, Darnell and Edmonds are running a different... Although Edmonds is off again. Rick will briefly take back 11th place. Andrew D in behind them. On board with Martin. Through the final chicane. On to the start-finish straight. And he's going to go down the inside into turn 1 and try and make the overtake stick against Rick Martel. And he will handle that without particular issue. Of course, last time he overtook Rick Martel, he instantly went off the track. So, you know, let's keep our eyes peeled. Tobias Thierolf in 4th place. Looks like Valoria's lead has been chopped down. It's down to 0.2 of a second back to Andreasen. Kaschuk also on the tail there. It'd be nice to see a new winner. We have not seen Kazchuk take victory, although he did have a second place at Silverstone. We have not seen Valoria take victory. We have seen Henrik Andreasen take victory already here at Donington Park. He's looking for the doubleheader. We haven't seen anyone pick up a doubleheader yet this season. And, oh, Magic Kazchuk loses the car. And that will promote Thierolf to the podium.
He'll be regional manager of podium.
On board with Henrik Andreasen, looking at the back of Raul Valoria. Kazchuk does rejoin in 4th place, just ahead of Bertrand Barrier, under considerable pressure. And the tire model here does punish you for having dirty tires, so it would not surprise me if the contact. Can't say that that's Andreasen's fault at all, though. It's a loss of control by Valoria, leading to the contact, and Andreasen takes advantage on the straightaway there. Take the lead into the final chicane. Further back, Andrew D on the tail of Rick Martel, running in 13th place. Down the inside goes D, and in 12th he goes.
What if I told you yellow cars go pretty fast?
Well, in the case of Bertrand Barrier, you're completely correct. What is your favorite color for a race car there, Byron?
Blue and orange.
Blue and orange. Okay. The Gulf colors.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if the Gulf colors were necessarily your favorite, or you just like the combination.
Well, I just kind of like the combination, and also it's pretty classic. And
Very classic.
I don't know if I was just to pay money and purchase a sports car, I don't see enough dark green ones out there, so I'd probably go with something like that. Everybody wants a red friggin' Ferrari or whatever. I would purposely buy a Ferrari and paint it not a Ferrari color.
Mm.
I would be that rich asshole that does not care.
Barrier on the tail of Kazchuk. I would also be a big fan of course, like the British racing green and forest green and stuff. I'm a big fan of the color green. And,
Indeed.
It shows in a lot of the custom liveries I have run over time. Racing, not Race Room, obviously, because you can't do custom liveries, but Race 07, Race On, Race Injection, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Assetto Corsa, and all that. Tobias Thierolf running in 3rd place. Through the final chicane. It looks like Andreasen's kind of waving by to the field again. He's 2.6 seconds up. And Thierolf will get past Raul Valoria and will attempt to run down his championship rival. We hop on board with Adam Komorowski, who has had a interesting day, and by interesting I mean a little bit contact heavy. He is running in 15th place right now, which translates to a single point. It's Rick Martel ahead of him, losing a spot to Mauricio Delgado, and now losing a spot to Komorowski. I wonder if Rick's got something wrong with the car. It just looks like he has no straight line speed. Could be a case of him running too much downforce. Rick likes a very stable car, and that could lead to him running more downforce than you would expect at tracks like this, as James Butler is catching up to the battle between Kazchuk and Barrier for 4th place. I would say my favorite racing livery is still the Jordans from like the late 90s, early 2000s, because they did like a lot of animal themes with their things. Like one year there was a shark on the front of the car.
Of course.
It's like big open shark teeth on the nose. That's pretty cool. They did one with a snake at one point, and also one with a hornet at one point. So there is and they were sponsored at the time by Benson Hedges, and of course this was during the, like, some countries have tobacco advertising banned and some don't. So when tobacco advertising was fine, it was Benson Hedges, but they would do clever things with the name, like Bitten Hisses and Buzzin' Hornets at races where they couldn't use the tobacco sponsorship. On the side of the car, it's Martin Edmonds trying to get up into the top 10, trying to displace Andy Darnell. Martin's had a really solid campaign, of course. Had the triple podium at Silverstone. He's going to move into 10th place here, it looks like. But had a bit of a rough run at Brands Hatch. Picked up another podium here. He's got 4 straight podiums, but I don't think he's going to get a 5th one here, as he is in 10th place with about 9 minutes to go. And he may not even be 10th place for long, because Andy Darnell is not giving up. He's on the attack, but Edmonds hangs on. For back, Rene Armour, 8th place. Or actually, further forward, I should say, on the tail of John Barker. So Andy Darnell and his teammate John Barker under pressure.
Ding, 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 diddle, ding, ding.
And it's 2 golf cars up on the tail of Mr. Barker, because it is Rene Armour and Steve Davidson. Now, here's the big question. Are you cheering for Rene and Steve here, or are you cheering for our boy John?
I mean, I have to go with Gulf Oil. I'm sorry,
Well,
John. We're gonna have to have you executed. It's not a personal thing.
John normally is in the Gulf Oil. Actually, it's usually one of his colors.
Traitor.
So he's going to lose to both. He's going to lose out to both of them there. Nice little bit of teamwork actually right there, because Irmer got up the inside, compromised Barker's line into that final chicane, while still giving a nice toe to Davidson. That was beautiful teamwork. Getting the job done. I am a little bit surprised Kazchuk hung on against Barrier despite the dirty tires. He's actually pulled out a little bit of a gap now. About 1 second. And it's going to be more than that as Barrier loses control of the car, and James Butler will pick up a spot.
Oh my god.
I wonder if our golf boys will also pick up a spot there, as they close to about 2 seconds. 1.5 seconds back now. As Bertrand will have to try to get some heat into the tires and scrub off the dirt. Right on board with Andy Darnell. See there the update of the big movers and shakers. Bertrand Barrier up 11 spots. He is the most. Adam Komorowski down 11. He is the worst. Of course, the reverse grid makes the movement a little bit weird. And of course, it should be mentioned that Barrier DNF'd race 1, so he started dead last. So there wasn't really anywhere to go but up. But that being said, 11 spots is still very impressive. A lot of that was on lap 1, but some of it is coming later. Picking up Magic Kazchuk here. I was going to say, is 4th place his best result of the season? And then I realized, no, he finished 4th place last race, and he had a podium at Silverstone. So 2nd place would be his best result of the season.
What if he came in double 1st place?
But I'll tell you who is on pace for their best result of the season. Raul Valoria, as well as James Butler.
Raul.
As Magic Kazchuk goes off there and Butler pops up into 4th place. Adam Komorowski hunting down Andrew D. Andrew D has had a rough day. He had a pretty solid race 1, picked up a P7. And that meant a pretty high starting spot on the grid, but it's just not panned out for him. And I think his car has got to be messed up. Because Komorowski is coming on strong. Komorowski actually coming off his best result of the season when he finished P9. Front row start here for race 2 has been a little bit underwhelming as he's in 13th place. Got spun around on lap 1. Not sure what happened. We didn't get a good look at it. And then he got spun around again later on. And it's kind of been a comeback ever since. No, Mauricio! No!
No bueno.
No bueno, Mauricio. Power of positivity can only take you so far, Mauricio. You need grip. Also the back of the pack behind Foster. As we pick up Andy Darnell running behind Martin Edmonds. They are both caught up to John Barker. Magic Hashchuck has fallen back a spot, losing up to Rene Armour for 6th place. The first of the golf cars, and the other one of Steve Davidson is on his tail. And we know those golf cars will play teamwork, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. They believe heavily in Byron's philosophy of put him in the wall.
Hell yeah, put him in the wall.
Martin Edmonds all over the back of John Barker. Battle of the ESR admins. And we got Darnell, who is Barker's teammate there. Into the final chicane. Good defense by Barker. Probably really wishes that Darnell would have a lunge at Edmonds here to do something to take the pressure off of him here. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes and change to go. A wide run through turn 1, and I think that's going to leave Barker completely vulnerable, and Edmonds is through. Andy Darnell trying to get through as well, saying, hey, teammate, let me go try and chase Martin down. You had your chance. It didn't work for you. Actually, they're not teammates despite running the same livery. That is very confusing. I just looked at the team orders, and John Barker and James Butler are teammates despite having different liveries. And Darnell appears to be a wild card without a team, or an independent runner, I should say. Down the inside into the final chicane, and Darnell moves back into the top 10. Darnell's had a remarkably consistent run. Like, he's had no podiums, but he's had a 5th place, 9th place, 4th place, 6th place, and now runs in 10th. So, just absolutely refuses to finish outside of the top 10 and keeps piling on some points. Bertrand Barrier has it off there. Just kind of on his own, too. Very untypical. Adam Komorowski going side by side with Andrew D. And I really think D's car is not performing up to spec right now. I have to wonder if there is something wrong with it as he drops down to 13th place. Oh, excuse me. I'm just trying to stretch out my leg again, and it's very painful.
We're going to have Mike put down. He's limping a lot. He's getting old, so we're just gonna take him out.
Both of my legs are not happy with me. We'll just put it that way. We got the strained ACL and the broken foot on the left side, and on the right side right now we have a massive cramp in my calf muscle, which is doing me no favors. I'm hoping it clears up tomorrow because I've got a 2-hour train ride and a 2-hour car ride ahead of me.
We're just gonna chop them off and replace them with like double peg leg situation.
I'm not really a fan of the peg leg. If we're gonna amputate, at least do 40K style.
Nope. We're going pirate style, double peg leg.
At least give me the orc magic.
Double peg leg. We'll get you a parrot.
Very off there. Henrik Andreasen is your winner. Tobias Thierol went very off the track there. I wonder if he'll still finish second place. Indeed, he will. He gets it. And here comes Raul Valoria to take his first podium of the season. Solid effort. James Butler brings home fourth place, tying his best effort. Rene Armour, Magic Kashchuk, Steve Davidson. And then Bertrand Barrier, Martin Emmons, and Andy Darnell. Let's round off your top 10. John Barker in 11th. Adam Komorowski, Andrew D coming across the line to take 12th and 13th place. Rick Martel will be 14th place, and the final point will go to Wayne Hutchison. And that is your race. There is your results. So championship rundown. Henrik Andreasen, who has 3 wins and 4 races he's shown up for, has the lead, 124 points. Tobias Thierol's on 116. Martin Evans is on 90. 73 for Magic Kashchuk and 65 for Andy Darnell. Rounding off the top 10, it is Bertrand Barrier, Steve Davidson, James P. Butler, Andrew D., and Anthony Willis. In the team's championship, the Transatlantic Hurricane leads the way. That is Tobias Thierol and Andrew D., 166 points. They are 3 points ahead of the Canadian Pole OG crew. Martin Evans, Magic Kashchuk, just 3 points back. Then it is 92 points for the Yellow Submarine. That is Bertrand Barrier and Mauricio Delgado. Real Golf Racing's on 90. That is Rene Armour and Steve Davidson. And the Dogged Duo Racing is 1 point further back. That is John Barker and James P. Butler. Andy Darnell is actually part of a team. Actually, he's part of Petrolhead Racing with Samuel Oliveira and Michael Tuitt. Then it is 7th place for the Turbo Turtles, Taka and Adam Komorowski. Zero Racing of Michael Magas and Rick Martel. Inspired Yorkshire, which is Jord Evans. And the OGs, Richard DeRoche and Sean Kenny, rounding off the top 10. So, Byron.
What's up?
What are your final thoughts on this race that we saw here from Donington Park?
Remember, guys, if you stay on pole long enough, you're just going to be the most tired stripper.